Great. Moving on to lesson 10, the structure of ratio tables, additive and multiplicative. So from here on, I would like for you to copy this in your workbook. So page S37. If you don't have your workbook open yet, please open it to S37. So right under the title where it says lesson 10, the structure of ratio tables and additive and multiplicative, you're going to write these two down so you know what you should be learning as you go through this lesson. Today I will identify both the additive and multiplicative structure of a ratio table and use the structure to make additional entries in the table. I'm going to use ratio tables to solve problems, which you started doing in lesson 9. Now, additive and multiplicative structure sounds like something really a lot more technical, but really it just means you're going to identify that you can add or and multiply to complete a ratio table. So your first exploratory challenge is on page S37, and it reads, imagine that you are making a fruit salad. For every quart of blueberries you add, you would like to put in 3 quarts of strawberries. Create 3 ratio tables that show the amounts of blueberries and strawberries you would use if you needed to make fruit salad for greater numbers of people. Now, your workbook has the 3 tables. You're basically going to fill in the 3 tables. Table 1 should contain amounts where you have added fewer than 10 quarts of blueberries to the salad. And this is what table 1 looks like. Okay, remember, where you have added fewer than 10 quarts of blueberries to the salad. We see here that for every quart of blueberries, there are 3 quarts of strawberries. This looks like this in your table. So 1 quart of blueberry, you have 3 quarts of strawberries. That means your ratio is 1 to 3. Now, I can add plus 1 here because I'm doing this in just basically by ones. And that's 1 plus 1 equals 2. Since my ratio here is 3, to represent the 3 quarts of strawberries, I'm going to add 3 on this side. And then 3 plus 3 equals 6. Let's say I wanted to add another quart of blueberries, meaning I wanted 3 quarts of blueberries. That would mean I add plus 3 here on the other side, and that would give me 9 quarts of strawberries. Okay? You can pause this video now, to complete this ratio table. Now think of, ladies and gentlemen, it does not have to be 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3. You can even say, hey, what if I wanted to add plus 1 plus 1? So you get 5 quarts of blueberries. How much would that be in quarts of strawberries? Okay. So pauses now to complete this ratio table. Remember, it has to be fewer than 10 quarts. Your next table is table 2. So we have the same problem here about your fruit salad. Now it says table 2 should contain amounts of blueberries between and including, okay, and remember that word, between and including 10 and 50 quarts. Once again, you had, for every quart of blueberries, there's going to be 3 quarts of strawberries. Now, they told us to include 10 quarts of blueberries. Okay, so because we had 10, if you remember, our ratio was 1 to 3, that means our quarts of strawberries is 30. Okay, that still gives me a ratio of 1 to 3. Let's say I wanted to add another 10 quarts of blueberries. That's going to add plus 10, which gives me 20. On this side, I'm going to add plus 30, and that will give me 60. Wanted to do another 10 quarts of blueberries. That's going to give me 30 quarts of blueberries. I'm going to add another 30 over here to the right, and that will give me 90 quarts of strawberries. So now please pause this video to complete this ratio table. Remember, you need to go up to 50 quarts. And I apologize if my dog keeps barking. I don't know. Someone out there is just really giving her a hard time tonight. Here is our exploratory challenge again. And now we're going to answer the questions here on page S38. It says, describe any patterns you see in the tables. So you're going to look at the 3 tables. Hopefully you've completed all 3 tables. If you haven't, this is a good time to pause and complete your 3 tables. So letter A says, describe any patterns you see in the tables. Be specific in your descriptions. I've come up with this huge sentence frame for you. Really, all you need to do is fill in the blanks. But if you want to write it in your own words, that's fine too. This is just to help you out. The value in the second column is always blank as much as the corresponding value in the first column. Okay, look at the second column and how many times is that compared to the first column? In the first table, the entries in the first column increased by what? So remember, go back to table 1. And the entries in second column increased by what? Remember, look at what you added it by. In the second table, the entries in the first column increased by what? Okay, what did we add to the numbers in our first column, or the column on the left? And the entries in the second column increased by, what is that? In the third table, the entries in the first column increased by what number? And the entries in the second column increased by what number? So looking at what number you added on each side of the table, and that's what's going into those blanks. So you can pause this video to copy that. That's quite a long thing to copy. And fill in the blanks. Now, letter B says, how are the amounts of blueberries and strawberries related to each other? Here's another sentence frame for you, and all you need to do is fill it in unless you want to use your own words. The amount of strawberries is always blank. The amount of blueberries. The equivalent ratio is always what? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I repeated myself over and over. The first for table 1 and table 2. What the equivalent ratio, what the ratio is. So hopefully you heard that or paid attention to it. If not, you can actually just rewind on back and find that equivalent ratio. So pause this video to answer the remaining questions. Okay, work with a friend if you want to. Or you can finish this video to the end and then finish your remaining questions, whatever works best for you. Here is our lesson summary. I did not include the whole lesson summary that was in your workbook. You can read the rest, but I figured this part to me was the most important part, and this can be found on page S40. Lesson summary is ratio tables are constructed in a special way. Each pair of values in the table will be equivalent to the same ratio. So the 2 numbers that you are comparing, so like here from red to white, all these pairs of numbers, 624, 2184, will be equivalent to 1 to 4. Repeated addition or multiplication can be used to create a ratio table. Boys and girls, use what you feel most comfortable with. If you are more comfortable to add numbers, then that's fine. If you feel more comfortable multiplying, then that's fine too. I've seen you guys do a lot of multiplication and doing these ratio tables. Stick with what you feel most comfortable with. So the values in the first column can be multiplied by a constant value to get the values in the second column, meaning you're going to multiply whatever you multiply here, you will. That's what you're going to multiply with to get the other numbers here on the right side. So 3 times 4 is 12, 6 times 4 is 24, 12 times 4 is 48, 21 times 4 is 84. All right, your next steps. Finish exercise 1. Yes, there's only one. When you are done and feel ready, get an exit ticket from Mrs. Caldwell. Your homework would be to finish exercise 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is one exercise. I hope you finish it today in class. Please make good use of your time in class. If you have any questions, write your name on the board. Until lesson 11. See you.